Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Paul Altman Show. And today we are overlooking the Leaving Neverland. Well, not entirely overlooking, but we're going to try to simmer it down. Okay? And this is brought to you by the Michael Jackson allegations. For more facts on the Leaving Neverland documentary and the lawsuit, which was brought by the plaintiffs Wade Robson and James Safechuck. Okay, I'm gonna narrow this down to you. Okay, and I'm gonna read something to you so that you get some common sense. Okay, here it goes. While Leaving Neverland is based on Wade Robson and James Safechuck's lawsuits, there are some differences in the film, the interviews during the promotional campaign of the film, and their complaints. Here I will post a list of those differences. Number 1. Wade Robson's bloody underwear. In the film, Wade makes the allegations that Michael Jackson made him get rid of the bloody underwear after attempting to anally penetrate him when he was 14. Robson does claim the anal penetration attempt in a court filing, but does not claim anything about a bloody underwear and Jackson allegedly making him get rid of it. This is all that is alleged in the complaint about the alleged anal penetration, which is, here it is. Plaintiff began showing signs of puberty around age 13. Michael Jackson was no longer as an interest in him sexually. The sexual encounters were less frequent. Michael Jackson attempted to perform anal sex on plaintiff when he was 14 and penetration with his penis, but while penetration occurred, the attempt was unsuccessful. Now looking back on it, looking at it, I'm like, this is silly. I mean, if you're gonna, then this is coming from straight in the heart, and this is the most outlandish allegation that Wade is making, and this is some wild goose chase. I give Wade that credibility, but I'm not gonna give him any satisfaction. Okay, let's go back to this list. Okay, is this another example of Wade Robson's ever-evolving memories? Not entirely. Number 2, and this one takes the cake. James Safechuck's sex tape. Ain't that about bullshit? In interviews during the promotional campaign of the film, James Safechuck made an allegation that Jackson supposedly made a videotape of their alleged sex act. Oh my God. This is the most outlandish allegation of all. Okay. And this is what someone said, okay? And it said Safechuck conveniently alleges that Jackson then destroyed this evidence. Both men claim Jackson never wore condoms during their sex acts. They allege often plied them with alcohol and pornography before molesting them. Come on now. Sure, Michael Jackson drank, but I don't think he would show pornography to children. I mean, this is ridiculous. Okay, and not only that, there's more. And even recorded one of his sexual encounters with Safechuck. He immediately freaked out when he realized what he did and taped over it. Safechuck says, although Jackson although he was aware Jackson was filming, it was fun at the time. When you're having fun, he isn't thinking about it. But later he's like, wait a minute, I just documented this. He's very careful, but that was one sort of slip. This claim was neither in his complaint nor in the film. It was first alleged during the promotional interviews of Leaving Neverland. By far, this is the most silliest and most outlandish claim that Safe Chuck is claiming. And, okay, and this is by far the most craziest. Let me finish this before time runs out for me. Only got 9 minutes in, so this is going to be another parter until the last season. Alright? Because this is good for me to even look at the facts. Let me scroll. And it says, right here, Safe Chuck made sure to add that Jackson quickly deleted the video, so there is no evidence of it. So very conveniently, but if this was something that Jackson did with children, there would be a big likelihood that sooner or later he would slip up on something like this. There is no evidence of Jackson ever making or having such tapes. And that is the most true, because when I was doing research on Michael, there are lots of evidence to put out the front forth and say Michael never had that kind of pornography. When we go down on the line, it says, keep in mind that his premises were raided and thoroughly searched in both 1993 and 2003, and also that he was a, and this is a quote here, disorganized hoarder. No sex tape was ever found in his possession, either with Safechuck or any other child. Maybe we should take a mental note of the fact that when Safechuck first started this claim, the R. Kelly case that heavily features sex tapes, which was prominent in the media. It is also strange that Safechuck described this as fun. I know that every victim is different, but from what I read in literature about child sex abuse, an abuser making a video of the abuse is usually an extreme, horrifying, and traumatic experience for the victim. And this is the most, by far, the most outlandish story that you just can't wrap your hand around. Okay? And I'm going to read you another couple. I'll read you some more. And this is I think, and this is something had related to Neverland, okay? Leaving Neverland, okay? James Safechuck alleges that Jackson showed him child pornography. James Safechuck alleges in his court filings that Jackson showed him child pornography, movies in which children were masturbating. I'm like, this is the most craziest things. And keep in mind, I'm reading this from an open-minded. And there's a little picture on it too. So, he said by Jackson that these books were foreign books. Michael Jackson also shown plaintiffs movies in which children were masturbating and told them that they were not really porn. The movies that Michael Jackson referred to as porn involved adult sexual activities, whereas the films where children engaged in sexual acts were not porn. That's the most ridiculous things that I've heard, but okay. Safechuck made a claim in the film that Jackson showed them pornography, but there were no mention of movies with children masturbating in it or any kind of child pornography. There was no evidence of Jackson having such movies. No such movies were ever found at his presence during the extensive house searches in both 93 and 2003. And since we got 4 minutes, I like to look back at it, and when I was reading it, I don't think that Michael Jackson would ever have any conscience of if he did, which some people know me, that if someone had this kind of problem, they should either get help or get bitch slapped. But in this case, we don't ever know. We're probably ain't gonna know. But let's just go down on the parts here. And I still stand by my Michael. And I know these are more lies that these two gentlemen are making. And I'm going to read, well, I can't basically, hold on here. Wow. I mean, these are more juicy stories. I mean, these are juicy stories that I will have to get into, but I have to get into another time. So, in that regard, I will be back with more, and more Leaving Neverland stories. This is Paul Altman, and I am signing out. When we get here, and let me get into this. Okay. Here. Alright, well, see you guys on the next episode of the Paul Altman Show. This is part 5 of the season finale of the Paul Altman Show in season 1, which is entitled Leaving Neverland.